Hello, hello. This video is all about target selection in war. I thought that might be a useful topic to give my thoughts on how to choose a target. And I'm thinking particularly in the context of war, but a lot of this applies to raids as well. Things to look out for. So first thing when it comes to target selection is sometimes in war, you're not looking for an easier target. If you know that your team is looking for a wipeout, the main criteria then is working out where you sit in terms of the depth of your roster relative to your teammates. So you know that if you're in sort of the top third in terms of strength, or at least your remaining flags are, then you should be taking on the tougher targets on the board. Conversely, if you're sort of in the bottom third in terms of roster strength, then you should be aiming for the easiest third of targets, and obviously in the middle. But this video is actually focused really on those times in war when you're not pushing for a wipeout and you're trying to maximise your chances of getting a one-shot kill, and to a lesser extent reducing the risk of a 3-flag kill. Okay, so the vulnerabilities that I'm looking for target selection are first and foremost colour stacks. So if they are have got multiple of one colour in their defence team, that is a great place to start. Now, it's best if they're side by side, because then you can start to hit them with stack strong against that colour. So this team here, for instance, they've got 2 purple side by side, so that'd be a great one to bring a yellow heavy team for, and then if you can get some yellow matches underneath those two, you'll really cause some carnage. I think there was another one over here. There's 2 greens in this team, so that is countered by the fact they have 2 blues, so bringing reds, then those reds won't be strong against the blues. That probably wouldn't deter me in this case, and in fact, since I have Gravemaker, I would be bringing Gravemaker against this team, because those 2 blues can be burned in one shot. They're within Gravemaker's reach for hitting 3. He does extra damage against green. So when you look for colour stacks, you also got to watch out for some traps. So Ursina Kunshin combo and Anzo Mitsuko combo, those are both pretty bad. Also Mitsuko Jean-Francois. So basically there are some heroes which become strong against their weak colour. So Ursina obviously can reflect, Mitsuko can reflect blue, so it's always dangerous to bring, I'm not saying never do it, but it is dangerous to bring a colour stack against the likes of Ursina and Mitsuko, because if they go off and you don't have a way to dispel that, you are really in trouble. And then you've got heroes like Kunshin and Amisha, who give their purple allies extra defence against Holy. Enzo and Jean-Francois do the same, so those are some combos to look out for there. Another thing I'm looking for is extra slow teams. So one of the things that is not reflected in the team power ratings is the speed of the team. So a team of 5 slow heroes, for instance, and say 4300 team power is a lot easier in my view than a team of all fast at 4100 or even 4000. You get so much more time against slow heroes, time to neutralise them and mitigate the effects of their specials. Now this particular war enemy doesn't have any great examples of too many slow heroes. This is probably the best one though. There's no fast heroes on this team. We've got 2 slow heroes in Yunin and Kunshin, and 3 average speed heroes. But a variation on looking for slow is looking for slow heroes in the corner. Slow heroes in the corner is those heroes often become quite irrelevant, in that you'll have most of the team already dealt with by the time their special goes off, or you're already prepared for them by the time they go off. So here's an example. We've got Asania in the corner, runs at slow speed, and we've got Eleanor as well, also running at slow. Beg your pardon, and Elberic. So there's actually 3 slows in this team. So that's definitely one you'll get more time against. And I think there was another example. Yeah, here we've got Justice in the corner. So yeah, Justice will probably be quite irrelevant in this fight. His threat really comes on with those right 3, Teleria, Enzo, Master Lepus, and Lepus in particular. Having said that, if, Teleria, Enzo, or Justice were to hit you when your Kunshin's got your defence down, then there's big trouble. What next? So no healing, be another one to look for. So there was an example up here. So they've gone for the 5 Season 1 snipers here. And it's a tough team, it really is. But there are, with the right heroes, there are ways to really nullify this team. So if you're lucky enough to have, well, is lucky the right word actually? If you have already put the resources into a hero like Costumed Horgle, who does negative 54% attack for 6 turns, if you can get him to fire before the tank's always going to fire before him, but if you can get him off before, say, 2 of them are fired, he really does turn them into pussycats. And you can pair him up with someone like Catelyn. Works quite well to reduce the incoming damage. And so the other good thing about taking on a team with no healing capability, which is either no healers and no field aid, is that whatever damage you do is going to count towards the next hit. So there's no, every time you do damage on them, that's going to make it easier for your next teammate if this isn't a one-shot kill. So if you've got some hit-all heroes that you struggle to use at other times, maybe a no healer team is the sort of target to look for. And there was another one down here as well with also with no healing capability, and a slow hero in the corner too. What else? So healer in the corner is sort of a variation on the no healing. Healer in the corner is often too late to the party. You can already have 2 or 3 of their team dead by the time the healer goes off. So here's an example. We've got Sabina in the corner there. She's only running at average speed, so by the time she goes off, you'll be hoping to have 2 out of those front 3 already dead, and then hopefully let her heal. You're ready to reset, and then take control of the tempo with some ghosting. Who else? Here was another one. We've got Rigard in the corner, but Teleria in the tank. What about this one? Yeah, so here we've got Rigard in the corner, and hitting power everywhere else. So that was healer in the corner. Another one is looking for no cleansing. So no cleansing can be quite vulnerable to a number of heroes, but I mentioned one already, Costume Horgle. So some of the Season 1 heroes have some very long-lasting effects, like Richard with his 6 turns, Horgle with his 6 turns. So if you can use some of those longer-lasting effects on a team with no cleansing, it buys you a lot more time if you can get those heroes to go off. So again, that team had no cleansing, also had no healer. No cleansing in this team either. And there's another one over here. No, that's got a cleanser. Here. Yeah, another one with no cleansing. What else? Okay, so teams with too little killing power. So they might have sort of too much defense, or maybe too much reliance on hit all heroes. Now, hit all hero in an attack boost war can actually be pretty darn dangerous. The advantage of when they have too many hit all heroes is that your heroes tend to die at the same rate, and so if you can get your healers going, you don't need to have a resurrection type healer. It's just that everyone can get healed, so long as your healers are ready in time. So some examples. So E3, position E3. So this one's got a lot of defense. This is actually pretty borderline for whether I'd call this not enough killing power, because Vela she's a one-woman wrecking crew really. Yeah, if you don't have your cleansing ready for when she goes off, it really is absolutely devastating. But this team, it's got two healers in Ratatoskr and Guinevere. Queen of Hearts is more of a defensive sort of support hero. She does some damage, but she's more there to frustrate your ability to kill others on the team. Vale is definitely a stone cold killer, and Victor he's pretty tough. He does have his damage isn't colossal, so he's kind of more of a support hero by adding to defense and reducing your ability to heal. Who else? So I couldn't really find a good example of someone who was relying on hit all heroes. This was about the closest I could find, having Justice, Teleria, and Zo all being hit all, but Lepus is an incredible sniper. 848 attack stat. It's just unreal. So even though he's hit 3, he's basically a sniper. So I think that was about it. Is there any other examples? C2, what's that one? Yeah, and 2 healers here, so arguably not quite enough killing power, especially with Justice being one of the killers. But if you don't dispel Tarlak, then there's a lot of killing power on this team. So Tarlak special gives so much attack up that Marjana becomes a one-shot kill. Justice or Thorn be absolutely devastating as well. So that was just about it. I've got one more, and that's when the defence team have put the heroes you most want to kill, they've put the 3 of them side by side. So that can be a bit of a vulnerability to bring hit 3 heroes. So if you've got, let's find an example. So C2 is the one I've noted. Oh, sorry, that's D2. C2. Here we are. Really? B2. Yeah, here we go. So Rigard and Black Knight. I'm not. I don't have to kill them in a hurry. Black Knight's obviously a bit of a special case with his taunt, but the 3 I'm really worried about are that are going to do the damage are Buddy, Richard, and Kingston, and they're all sitting side by side. So this might be a good one to bring some hit 3 heroes against. Not Gravemaker in this case, even though there's greens within reach, because Kingston has resistance to burn, so it's pretty good anti Gravemaker effect. But yeah, so there's a lot of hit 3 heroes like the defense down ones, Tibertus Grim and Gormek, and then there's others like do the attack side of it with say Scarlet or Richard. So there's a lot of hit 3 heroes out there, and when you see 3 lined up like this, that can be a pretty effective way to neutralise or just outright kill them. And that was all my thoughts on target selection. So, hope someone finds it helpful. All the best. Cheers.